Hello folks, so I'm here to introduce a slightly new scoring system that I'm using. Actually, it's not even slightly new, it's completely new scoring system that I'll be using to judge packs. So there are going to be 4 different indices that I use to judge a pack. The first is going to be the design and usability of the pack, and that will count for 10 points. The second piece will be comfort, that will also count for 10 points. The third will be build quality, also 10 points. And then lastly, it's the degree to which they would fit into a professional setting as well as be usable on the weekend. And that's only going to be 3 points because I know not everybody is as concerned about that as I am. We are going to have 5 different criteria that I use to judge a pack's design and usability. And that includes first the internal organization. The second is the gear accessibility, and this is sort of the degree to which the pack will open up fully so that you can get access to your gear, smoothness of the zippers, the quality of the buckles and how easy it is to work those buckles. If there's an external pocket for your laptop or for your sunglasses, etc., those are going to be accessibility related things. And then any other things that improve the quality of the usability of the pack. So the ability to stand on its own is another really important criteria from my perspective, because being able to pack up a bag that can stand on its own or be able to unpack a bag that can stand on its own really simplifies the operation tremendously. Grab handles, being able to grab it from many different angles. There are so many times where if I'm commuting, I reach over to grab my bag out of the front seat, and being able to grab it by something other than the suspension system really makes things a lot easier. So if there's a nice grab handle, boom, that's a really beneficial thing. And then we have other sort of things little features that make things a little bit easier, which include things like a good sternum strap, load lifters, bright lining in the interior so you can see all your things. So there's a whole number of those little extras that make the design and usability of a pack that much better. So let's move then on to comfort. Comfort's going to have 4 different indices that I'll use to judge the comfort. And that includes, first and foremost, the suspension system. So obviously the ability for it to be adjustable so it doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure points across the shoulders. And the second piece is the ability for the pack to be able to balance the load comfortably. One that feels really tight to your body, that doesn't have sort of a lot of the weight away from your back, but closer to your back. Having a frame sheet tremendously helps, or even an internal frame. In most cases, we don't have an internal frame, but having a frame sheet would be tremendously helpful in terms of the stability of carrying the load. The weight itself, if a bag's too heavy, it's no fun to carry, even when it's, completely empty. So having a lightweight pack is something that's beneficial. And then the sweat control. So looking at the back of the pack, the degree to which it allows for your perspiration to get out and up and away from your back so you don't walk into a board meeting with your back all sweaty. Okay, and then the third level, the build quality. This is the third index. And for this, I have 5 criteria that I will be looking at. So the textile quality, and that includes how heavyweight the material is and whether it's purpose-built for that particular area. So for example, having a heavier textile on the bottom of the pack makes a lot of sense, and having a lighter weight one in areas that aren't going to receive that much wear and tear makes a lot of sense as well. The hardware, so the buckles that are used, are they easy to use? Are they stout? Are the zippers high quality zippers, usually YKKs? Are they large enough zippers for the area or for the access point that we're looking at? The actual manufacturing of the pack, so is the stitching high quality stitching? Is it all aligned correctly? Is everything sewn together tightly? Those are going to obviously be things that will allow the pack to stand the test of time. And then the last one is the degree of weatherproofing associated with the pack. And I don't need my pack to be a waterproof pack, but it certainly needs to be able to withstand at least a little bit of rain dashing from the car into the building. If it allows all my stuff to get soaked, then obviously that's an issue. And then last of all, there's this idea of the index of how something is as a crossover pack. And what I'm looking for there is a pack that can do really well in a professional setting. So one where I might be wearing a coat and tie and going to an important meeting, but also be able to work well on the weekends if I'm hiking, say, around Sleeping Giant State Park here in Connecticut. So it won't look ridiculous for me to be hiking with that pack. It also won't look ridiculous for me to be dressed up in a coat and tie. The maximum number of points that a pack can earn is 33 points, and I don't expect that you're going to be able to score all those, because if you think about it, for example, a pack that's built really well, generally speaking, is going to be really heavy, and so therefore it loses a little bit on the carryability, comfort piece, but it gains a lot in terms of the build quality. Every pack that I review will come out with a particular number, and essentially what I'll be able to tell you at the end is whether or not I'm going to lose it or if I'm going to use it. In other words, will I keep the pack and use it, or if I'm going to get rid of the pack because it doesn't meet my needs. Usually it's going to be, well, inevitably that means it's going to be a low scoring pack. All right, take a look at my videos. I hope they help you to decide what pack works for you.